Podcast is live. Nice.
Yeah. Ladies, follow another spectacular episode of the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. I am your host, that ocean straight up bossing, flight catching, shot glass snatching, always on the go. Catch him if you can. Said his name in Guyana. Now they love him in Japan. No cap, the worldwide star boy, Remy Blue. And our special guest tonight. Well, hold on. Before I go any further, my tag team partner he recently just came in. I'm surprised. I thought he wouldn't make it tonight, but hey, he's always welcome. Everybody, my tag team partner. He is the greatest thing on God's green earth. No, we're not talking about money, Mary Jane, or Popeye spinach. He is the tranquil dart of Ringside Society and Delaware's greatest American hero. It takes two to make a thing go right. He's Rob Bass, and you are not. And our special guest tonight is a man who is taking the world by storm. He graduated from the Nightmare Factory. Nope, you thought I was going to say class 1 or class 2 or class 3, but no, he did it solo, and we're not talking Han from the Star Wars. And he is one half of the Rock and Shock connection. That's right, not Rock and Sock, Rock and Shock. Or if you want to put some respect on their name, respect the business. Everybody, welcome to the show, Caleb. No.
We went over this.
Y'all thought I was going to say it. Caleb Teninty.
Woo! Hey, man.
How's it going today, sir?
It's going great. I've actually been in Oregon. I'm from Oregon originally. I've been in Oregon for
Ooh, man.
Hitting some shows.
I got some.
You know, shows are back here right now, and they're thriving.
Awesome. I got some business. I got 2 orders of business with Oregon. Actually, nice. Yeah, 2. One, I want to go to Portland. They say Portland is the city of weird. I live in Brooklyn, New York, and I've been into the Greenwich Village, uptown, downtown, midtown, especially I'll be there during Halloween, so I'm definitely going to see a lot of weird stuff, but they say Portland is the city of weird. So I actually want to go and see how weird it is. Is it like New York level weird, a whole different level of weird, or is it like, just some other kind of weird? And 2, you guys have a donut shop that I want to go to. You know what I'm talking about? Rob, you may not know what I'm talking about. You know the donut shop I want to go to.
Voodoo?
Voodoo Donut. I got business there too.
I'm going to get a lot of hate for saying this, but I don't like Voodoo Donuts that much. They are growing.
Okay.
It's a cool gimmick, and they're growing. Like, there's some in like Universal and in Orlando at Universal, and like I think there might be one in Atlanta. I could be wrong. I think there's like some in Hollywood. Like, there's a few across the country now, but like there's 2 in Portland. It started in Portland. Yeah, Portland's pretty weird. Not gonna lie there. I grew up in like a small town outside of Portland, like 45 minutes away, and I always avoided going into Portland. Yeah, like basically I'd go into Portland if I had to for work or for shows for wrestling.
Yeah, I had a girl I used to talk to way back in the day. I'm talking like 2000. She was from a place called, I think, Coos Bay. I don't know if you know where that is.
Yeah, I know of it.
And then there's another woman who I actually served with in the Navy, and she was from a place, I think it's called Eugene.
Yep.
Eugene, Oregon. Yeah.
My dad's from Eugene.
Yeah, so she was from there. So I take it you know about the West Coast Wrestling Connection, or you probably wrestled there a couple of times, or you've
that's
been
my home
by there.
So you had Charlie Avell on. Him and I trained together there. I don't know if that's where you heard about them, but yeah, him and I, that's both home promotions.
Well, I actually I knew about the West Coast Wrestling Connection because I'm a guy. I like to. I'm not stuck on WWE and AEW. I mean, I watch that, but I like to know about other promotions because the more promotions I watch, the more I get a chance to see the next up and coming superstars. And there was this. You probably heard about this organization too called the United Wrestling Network.
Yep.
One of their how do I put it? One of their branches was the West Coast Wrestling Connection. So I was like, okay, let me see what Oregon has going on. I know, or I haven't heard anything from Oregon other than the Trailblazers, City of Weird, and Voodoo Donuts. So let me go and check it out and see. And man, I got some talent over there. You guys had I call him the next door. He's probably gonna kick my butt for that if you ever hear me say that. But Hammerstone, I saw him when he was there. Not personally, but like through like YouTube.
Yeah.
And then you had Mikey O'Shea, another guy who I'm surprised has not been picked up yet. Yeah. And Matt Stryker has made appearances there and so on. So yeah, I'm oh, and that's where I start. This other guy, he actually you probably know him too. Ricky Gibson from 4 Minutes of Heat.
So I cannot I'm gonna take a minute and put over Ricky. I cannot say enough good things about him. He was probably my first trainer. I went to WC school and there was 5 trainers, but 4 of them and 4 were kind of there, hanging out. Ricky was my first trainer, through and through. And he just opened a school here in Oregon with his tag partner Eddie Pearl and Malcolm Flex. And great school. Been training there about 2 nights a week while I've been here. Super great guys. Nothing but nice things to say about those 3.
Yeah, I remember Malcolm Flex, and there was another. I don't know if you ever came across this other guy, the Beast. He actually is now in Versus Pro Wrestling, but he used to have his body was painted and he had a crazy looking mask.
Yep,
and that's right. Yeah, I tell you, WCWC, y'all had a crap ton of people that came out of that place that was so impressive. I was like, wow, y'all just killing it, man. I remember one episode where Matt Stryker was I think he had the main title. I think it was called the Heritage title or something. And he was running around all over the place, beating up people that are trying to, I guess it was kind of like a 24/7 rules thing that they had him on. And he was running around all over the place, dodging attacks and people that are trying to jump him. And I remember one part there was a tank. I think there's a tank in front of the building that has the WCWC shows.
Yep.
And he actually went on the tank and he sat down and he was like, this reminds me so much of and he was making reference to the Attitude Era when DX stormed the CNN, the WCW headquarters in Atlanta. So I was laughing at that. But yeah, a lot of great talent came from there, man.
Yeah, so much.
Yeah, Ricky Gibson, another guy. That guy is. I've never seen 4 Minutes of Heat in action before, but from what I've seen, I've never. So when I started watching WCWC, the WCWC, Ricky was actually more of a solo guy, and then he had Eddie Pearl with him, as his roadie. So they were in a Jeff Jarrett, Road Dogg, Jesse James kind of partnership, and then eventually Eddie Pearl started joining Ricky Gibson, and Eddie Pearl has a brother, if I'm not mistaken, named Billy Pearl, who took the place of Eddie in as being the Road Dogg. And yeah, they were impressive. Like I said, I'm surprised that they haven't been featured on AEW or WWE or anything, because those guys are in my opinion, and this is not Ringside Society's opinion, but in my opinion, they're one of the tag teams to look at.
Yeah. No, they're super good. They've been on Defy and stuff like that, but no, super great guys. Anyone watching this, check out 4 Minutes, or they're called the Midnight Heat right now. But yeah, check them out.
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah, I mean, they're the second best tag team in the industry right now. Ask me who's the first. Who's the first?
Who's the first?
The Business, baby.
There you go.
AKA Rock and Shock Connection, which GPW, Georgia Premier Wrestling, we have a big old match this Saturday against the good old boys. So if you're in Georgia, go to Jasper, check out Georgia Premier Wrestling, watch the Rock and Shock do their thing.
Awesome. That's cool, man. Man, why is it I'm always stuck in like the bad, like I was in North Carolina and I'm like, man, I wish I was in Georgia right now, man. You know, Georgia got, they got Anarchy Wrestling, they got WBA 4, and then you got the Nightmare Factory. And y'all student showcase killed it. I haven't watched the third student showcase yet. I'm gonna get to it before the end of the week, because we're actually gonna start interviewing a couple of guys and gals from that class as well. I don't know if you've seen our last couple of shows, but we've been like going hard on like we're interviewing class 1 and class 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, y'all definitely know how to put it down when it comes to like, entertain the fans over there. And I'm like jealous. I'm like, man, I wish I was in Georgia right now, and because they don't know, the fans don't know. If they don't know, trust me, they have a lot of great talent down there, man.
Yeah, they got these guys named Caleb Teninty, Casey Rocker, super talented guys. Not to put myself over too much, but the business, big things are coming.
Yeah, although normally we would have dream match Wednesday, which is actually today, and we got to put up we already have a dream match in mind. But you guys are actually part of one of my personal dream matches. Oh, yeah? I don't know if it happened yet, but I know if it happens, I'm going to definitely watch that match closely. It's going to be the Rock and Shock Connection, Respect the Business. The sensation of a new generation, Casey Rocker, and his tag team partner, Caleb Tandy, against one of professional wrestling's other tag teams where you book them if you want money, TSF, Rosario Grillo, and Hunter Knott. I would definitely watch that closely, because I'm like, yo, this is going to be a banger right here.
You see, that match hasn't happened yet. I have wrestled TSF several times, but not with Casey Rocker. I wrestled with my old tag partner, Parker Lee, but we came up short. But Casey Rocker on my side will probably win that match. So I'm calling them out.
Awesome.
Don't know if they're watching. They probably are. They're watching. TSF, Casey Rocker and I, we're gonna wrestle you guys, and it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen at some point. GPW, maybe Platinum Wrestling, gonna happen.
Man, that's oh man, I'm looking forward to that, man. I'm definitely looking forward to that. So I gotta ask you, man. Before normally I ask a lot of our guests this question. So, what was the pay-per-view or the event that made you become a fan of professional wrestling?
See, that one's actually really easy answer for me. WWE came to, so I watched wrestling from when I was about 6 on, because my dad didn't want me watching before, like they kind of toned it down. Like he didn't want me to watch Edge and Lita having sex on TV when I was like 5 years old. Understandable. It's like once they kind of like toned down a bit, he let me start watching, and when I would have been 8 or 9. WWE came to Portland and had no mercy for 2008. It was Triple H and Jeff Hardy was one of the mains, and then Chris Jericho and Shawn Michaels in a ladder match was the main. And yeah, that show was like it for me. I watched like in person. I was like, yep, this is what I want to do. So I just kind of had to wait like 10 years till I was 18 to start going to wrestling training.
Wow, that's cool, man. That's definitely cool. Yeah. So who are some of your favorites that you enjoyed watching growing up?
Jericho was a big one for me. Jeff Hardy, Shawn Michaels, a lot of the guys that listed on that card, pretty high up there. As I got like into high school, I was really into NXT. So like Sami Zayn, The Revival, Gargano, Ciampa, Finn Balor was a big one. Seth Rollins.
Wow, that's cool. Man, I tell you, Sami Zayn, definitely a guy that I never get tired of seeing.
No, no.
Um, Jeff Hardy, Jeff Hardy was one of my favorites. Like as a teen, when I'd go to swimming, I'd always try to do the swanton off the diving board. And yeah, man, Jeff was one of my one of my favorites. I enjoyed watching. I still enjoy watching him to this day. Although I'm waiting for him to bring back Willow because that's the next thing I want to do now. Once Willow hits, and
Mhm.
hopefully WWE does it right, um, it's definitely gonna be one of those characters that to enjoy watching.
Yeah.
And he's a very creative guy. Like people like Jeff Hardy, you just gotta leave them. Him and his brother, you just gotta like, okay, you know something? Whatever you want to do with your character, you have full rights to it. Because I know at the end of the day, you know, it's gonna be a win-win for everybody. They're gonna, you know, have that creative freedom. The fans are obviously definitely gonna enjoy it, whether they love it or hate it. They're definitely gonna enjoy it. And of course, you know, for the promoter, you know, it's money. You know, it's money
Yeah.
in their pockets. So yeah. Um.
Speaking of money,
So now that you're like, you know, you're attending the shows. I'm sorry.
no, go ahead, go ahead. I was just gonna plug the business again. Which, by the way, you've been saying respect the business. That's just a tagline. We're the business, or AKA the Rock and Shock Connection. But go ahead, go ahead.
Awesome. All right. My bad. So it's the business people, not respect the business, the business. But if you don't
Yeah,
respect
yeah,
them, yeah, that's gonna be your ass. So yeah,
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 exactly.
it's the business. So, but yeah. So now that you're cheering your favorites, booing the bad guys, you're going to the shows, you know, you're buying the merch and all that. How did um Caleb Tenney's journey go from wrestling fan to now professional wrestler?
Um, what a journey. So I waited till I was out of high school, and then like got a full time job, and like right after started hitting up companies. And I had throughout high school, I went to an indie show called DOA Pro Wrestling. They actually just made their return in Portland. Sold very well, did like 500 tickets. But so I hit them up and like tried to find like, hey, where do I need to go to start training? They sent me to a guy named Dr. Cleaver who ran out of what was it, Clackamas. He ran out of Clackamas. Not that that means anything to most people watching, but he ran out of Clackamas once a month, and I trained with him. And then I asked him like, hey, like I need to train more than once a month. Where could I go? And he sent me to Dub C school. So I had trained for about a year. Like I think it was 9 months, and then I stopped because of a girl. Don't do that, kids. Girls aren't worth it. Let me go on the record right now to say girls are not worth the trouble. Follow your dreams. Don't get into relationships. Follow your freaking dreams. Because where is she now? You know, she said I'd never make it, and hey, here I am.
That's right. Like
You,
Leonard Skinner said in Freebird, you know what I mean? You got to fly free like a bird, you know what I
you
mean?
gotta, you gotta. Girls will only get you so far. Like she said, I wouldn't make it in wrestling. Here I am, a national superstar.
There you go. That's right.
Yeah,
That's right. Handle the business handling their business.
yeah. So I stopped about a year, and then that ended as most relationships do. I went and I hit up Jeff Manning, the promoter of Dub C, because I was training there, and was like, hey, like I want to come back. And he's like, awesome, man. Like school's changed a little bit. Like there's no one that is here anymore. Like, but we got this great guy here named Dr. Luther. This was before he signed with AEW. So we go and I show up and I met Parker Lee. I met Charlie Vell that day, and I trained with Dr. Luther and a few other guys, but Charlie Vell, Parker Lee, those are the big two names to watch for. So we do our training, and then like I had done one show in my first stint. I did a 24-hour show, my first match actually. So let me backtrack back to the show. I was about 3 months in, and Ricky Gibson was like, "Hey, are you gonna be going to the 24-hour like charity show we're doing?" I'm like, "Yeah." That's like 3 days before. I'm like, "Yeah, for sure. Like I'll go help set up, do what you guys need me to." He's like, "You're gonna wrestle." I'm like, I'm gonna what?" I didn't know how to do a lot at this point. So I did like some battle royals, but then my first one-on-one match was an evening gown match at like 3 a.m. in front of 8 people. Like, I'll send you guys a picture that you guys can post, but like little 18-year-old chubby Caleb was in a dress, and like it was an evening gown match. I had to go and take the gown off the other guy. I won. I also won. We had a 24-hour gimmick belt, like, and the whole idea was that whoever had this belt at the end of the night would get a title shot the next show. I won that belt too. I didn't have it at the end of the night, but near the end, I almost had it. I had a belt for like 9 seconds. I rolled the guy up 1, 2, 3, grabbed the belt, celebrated. Like, we use this little neck pillow for gimmick purposes. I have the belt like this, like I'm freaking out. And then a guy comes behind me, full Nelson, picks me up, slams me down. That was it for my one and only title reign I've had so far. So yeah, that was my first show. I had like 8 matches though, like great learning experience. Then like I went 6 months of training without having any more matches. Met Luther, and then like he asked me like, "Did you work at all?" I'm like, "Other than one show?" No. He's like, And he was riding the Dub C shows. He was like, we'll put you on. So I hit the ground running really quickly when I came back. And I want to say I did like 10 shows within like 6 months between WC and DOA. Like, I went with those two, had some good matches. Then we hit COVID, and everything got shut down for about 6 months, and things just now start opening back up in the Northwest. Like, but we waited 6 months because Luther had gone signed to help with the Nightmare Factory. So, or he's there. Yeah. He got signed to help with that. So, he like convinced some of us like, hey, you guys should come down. And that's why me, Parker Lee, Charlie Avell all came down. We went to Georgia, like, basically just like I had a house too. Like, I sold the house and just I had a crappy little car. I like bought a new car because I was like driving to Georgia, bought a new car, took the rest of the money, paid for my training, and moved to the Nightmare Factory. And here I am about a year later.
Wow, that's cool, man. That's very cool. I definitely paid off, man, because I mean you're pretty much still doing the thing and whatnot. Yeah. Oh, Rosario Grillo's in the chat too.
I saw that. Why is this stuff my favorite tag team? You know what? I love this guy, but they're not. They're not. And I'm not talking about Hunter not. They're not, because you know who is my favorite tag team? They are known as the Rock and Shock Connection, baby, or the Business, the sensation of a new generation, KC Rocker, and the shock factor of professional wrestling, Caleb Teninty. The Rock and Shock Connection. We're the best tag team going. I am calling you out. I want this match. TS Set versus the Business. I want it. Give it to me. Someone book this match. I need to chill. You know what?
Oh, it's gonna be that match is definitely gonna be something to watch.
That match is
definitely gonna be something.
I need.
But so the Rock and Shock Connection, or the Business, whichever one you want to call them, but just make sure you get the names right.
Exactly.
For those of y'all listening, how did y'all come together as a tag team?
So I'm grabbing some energy drinks. I need to chill. This is about a day of Caleb's life, though. Red Bull and a bang. Gonna double fist these. So yeah, Casey and I. So he was in Camp 1, and he after Camp 1 ended, we started hanging out a lot. We book it, let's go jobbers. I hate John or Rosario Grillo so much. I hate him so much. So Casey and I, we started hanging out a lot after his camp ended, and I was in a tag team with Parker Lee at the time. And, some tag teams don't really work out. That one didn't work out. Do you guys know who that is? Ryan Romano? I don't know him.
He's one of our regular listeners. Really good guy. What's up,
Really?
Ryan?
Which, little side note about the Parker Lee thing. Things didn't work out, and we had to wrestle each other. I don't know. He was kind of mad about it not working out. Don't know why. If you go to Platinum Championship Wrestling, there's a few PCW, so you got to make sure it's Platinum. And look at the show Fetty Whoop. That was me and Parker Lee's match. We were main event. I don't know how much you saw of my gimmick, but I use confetti a lot. Not really as a weapon. Don't watch my matches because I don't use it as a weapon. But we had a confetti warfare match. Great match. Recommend watching it. Anyways, back to Casey and I. We started hanging out a lot. We made a trip to Florida together, actually, because he's from Daytona Beach, and my family was at Disney World. So I was like, hey, let's just carpool. You see your family. I go to Disney World, do our thing. And we talked about forming that tag team on that trip, and things just kind of took off from there. We started our tag team on School of Morton. I don't know if you've ever heard of that show, but yeah, go ahead. We
Oh no, I was just School of Morton. Is that a show or is it like a wrestling school?
So it's a show about a school. It's a Ricky Morton School in Tennessee, and they host like a show like weekly. It's called 505 Live.
Okay.
It airs
wow, okay.
I
have a new show to watch now because I'm a fan of the Rock and Roll Express too, and the fact that a 60-something Ricky Morton can still hit a Hurricane Rana and a Canadian Destroyer is amazing. So I had a feeling it had something to do with Ricky Morton, but I just didn't want to sound like an idiot and like say, oh yeah, and then but
because there's always there's always the idiots who like name themselves after like a famous tag team like that, But yeah, so School of Morton, we started there, and like we had one match, or no, we had two matches there that day, and we were just kind of like, hey, this works. Like we got a good reaction, so we started tagging. We tagged primarily GPW. We've tagged at New South. Actually, I take that back. New South was our first match. We tagged together at New South Pro Wrestling. I don't know if you've heard of it.
I've heard of it, but I've never seen an episode of it or a show.
Okay, yeah, they're on IWTV. We tagged at one of their live events though. Like they do one at the Furniture Factory in Hartsville, Alabama. I think it's the town. So we did a match there against the New Age Villains, and we won. Like we did pretty good. So yeah, and things just kind of took off from there. Now we're the best tag team in Georgia. And we know Rosario Grillo is watching. He's flipping out right now because he doesn't think that's true, but we are. We're the best tag team in the state of Georgia and the country, I might say, because I'm wrestling in Oregon right now. So that makes us national tag team.
Yeah, so now y'all just gotta like go to the WCWC and cover a lot of places and just set your footprint, like set your imprint, like bam, we're took over this, we made our name in this territory, that like whenever y'all touch like what we call in the Navy boots to ground is like when we hit a port, it's like whenever y'all go boots to ground in Cali and then boots to ground in Vegas, and then you go Midwest to Chicago and even in Texas and whatnot, y'all could just just get to the point where whenever y'all are in town, like, oh snap, the business is in town. Oh snap! Yo, who are they fighting? Who are they wrestling? They want like one of the best. Yeah, man. That's the way it is, man. It's all patience and getting ready to show out, man.
Yeah, but we're not one of the best. Dare I say, we are the best tag team. Best tag team in professional wrestling today. I don't really care. I don't care what anyone has to say about it.
Awesome. Well, we definitely look forward. Honestly, I'm looking forward to seeing more of y'all on like AEW and
Mhm.
whatnot. Um, trust me, that'll definitely be something. Or just hearing about y'all and like, maybe GCW and all these other places. Like I said, y'all got an energy that I know for a fact that you know people can't help but notice. Especially Casey. When I saw Casey in that battle royal, I was like, "Oh snap! This guy definitely means business, man. Definitely
Yeah.
does." But so now so I just got a couple more questions before I turn off to Rock. I know Rock probably has a couple for you, and my second to last question is um one of your trainers at Nightmare Factory, Cody Rhodes. He actually, when he left WWE, he actually had a list of opponents that he wanted to face in the very near future, and he posted that list on social media, and so did several other wrestlers as well too. So
Mhm.
my next question is, in from your perspective, who are the top five tag teams that you would want to face? You'd want the Rock and Shock Connection, the business, to face
Okay.
in the near future. It could be from anywhere. It doesn't matter if it's the big companies or the indies, anywhere.
Okay. So names are already popping into my head. Well, after this, like TSF, like may have been on the list, but definitely on the list now because we have unsettled business. Pun intended. So TSF's at the top. That's number one. The Midnight Heat would probably be pretty high up there just because like they helped train me. I love to show them up, beat them, do what I do. So Midnight Heat, plug the PNW a little bit more. There's another tag team I'd love to wrestle here called the Cook Bros. Or I heard they're going by the Toledo Bros in Defy, but the Cook Bros number three. Um, Probably number four. This camera's like weird. It's like inverted. Um, Number four has got to be FTR. Would be pretty high up there for me. I'm a big FTR guy. And I don't know. Number five could be Remy Blue and Rob Bass.
Oh snap!
We'll make that match
Yeah,
happen.
Rob Bass would probably do most of the work. He'd be like Ricky Morton, man. I'll
Yeah.
just
I know how to
you
take
know
bombs. I can take a couple bombs. I know how to do that. You know what I mean? The only move I have is a sleeper hold. That's the only move I know how to do. That's it. So if you can beat that, yeah.
yeah. But my last question, the Rock and Shock connection. And this is a question I've never asked anybody up until now. You guys are the first person I'm asking this question to. So, Rock and Shock connection, y'all giving me vibes like the Sex Pistols, like Genesis. I know I'm not talking when Phil Collins led them. I'm talking like when Peter Gabriel was leading them, and Kiss and AC/DC. So I gotta ask you, man. Um, in terms of like your theme song,
Okay.
what rock band would you guys want to play your entrance theme when you guys head out there? I'm curious. This is a burning question for me.
So we actually have fire entrance music. It's by the rock band known as Donna Summers. The song Hot Stuff, do you know it?
Oh yeah.
Are we able to play it for the audience right now? Is there a way to play it?
I think so. Let me see if I could do something on my end.
Hot Stuff, I don't.
I don't know if you could
That,
hear it.
this song is.
I don't know if you could hear it. This is when my mom used to go to the disco and whatnot. Uh, there we go.
Sounds like a lovely lady. She listens to Donna Summer.
Let me see. Hold on.
That's
I
it.
don't know if you can hear that.
I can hear it. I just went 6 to midnight for that. That song's just something else.
There it is.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Song's better than cool. That song's hot, like hot stuff, baby.
Well, you can never go wrong with Donna Summer. You never could.
She's a queen.
So fun fact, and those of y'all that want to laugh at me, laugh. But if you laugh in my face, we're gonna fight. One of my workout songs is actually a song called "Stamp" by Donna Summer. And yeah, I know, it's crazy. I got a weird. You got a 5'9", 200+ pound guy working out to Donna Summer, but hey, it has that beat to it, man.
Everyone's got to work out some Donna Summer in their life. That's my personal opinion. I could work out the hot stuff, like like when they make a 10-hour version of like 10 hours of Patrick falling down a cliff. 10 hours of hot stuff by Donna Summers. I could work out to that, and I can work out for 10 hours. I mean, look at me.
Yeah. So another funny, I'm gonna put myself out there even more. Another song I also enjoy working out to, like I will really go ham, is "What Is Love" by Hathaway.
Exactly.
Rob, I know you know that song.
I'm right with you.
What is love?
Baby,
oh yeah.
Don't hurt me no more.
Yeah.
I
Night of the Roxbury is one of my favorites. But I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to Rob. I know Rob has some questions. Okay. So Rob, go ahead, man. The floor is yours.
All right, sweet, thanks. So what's going on, Caleb, man? How's everything going up there in Portland, man?
Things are going good. We just listen to hot stuff. That usually makes me pretty good. Like that's a high for me, listening to hot stuff. I hit another ring on that high, and that's why I always win.
That's right.
You don't have to watch my matches to prove that fact. I always win.
That's right. Hey, yeah, like you said, everybody needs a little sprinkle of Donna Summers in their life. You know what I mean? You get a little something of that, man. Just it just puts you in the right mood. You know what I mean? So how's everything going up your? Oh no, go ahead.
I was just saying, you can never go wrong with Donna Summers. But go ahead.
So how was your day today, man? You do anything fun, man? It's like the Northeast and Oregon, man. I always hear it's always raining and stuff up that way, and all that, man. Like, was it raining today, or you have a good day?
It did rain, so yeah, but it was all right. Just kind of. I had a call pop up. Sorry about that.
Oh, okay. I thought my headphones were. I was like, uh-oh, I gotta change the stuff out.
That was me. That was my grandma calling me, but guy's doing an interview. Come on, grandma.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. My mom, you all right? You all right, my mom?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
No, so it was just random. I've just been chilling today. What's today? Wednesday. I go back Friday because I have to be at GPW on Saturday. So I fly back Friday. Gonna do GPW on Saturday, and then New Era the week after in Alabama. So full schedule for the business. And then we got our return to PCW, our return show on the 22nd. So, which by the way, quick shout out PCW. I know I already did, but Platinum Championship Wrestling, one of the best companies in Georgia. Go check out their YouTube. They post most of the shows on there. Highly recommend. But no, yeah, things have been good today.
That's cool, man. So y'all, so the business is pretty much booked up for the month.
Yes, but always feel free to hit us up. Respect the business. At respect_the_business on Instagram. Always hit us up. We can always make room. Maybe if you pay us enough, cut a show. It's just business.
I understand that.
It's not personal.
Yeah. That's right. Hey, money talks. Money talks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, man, up where you live, man, I always ask this, man, because you live in the Northwest, so I got to ask, man. You ever seen Sasquatch? Sasquatch ever coming around, man?
I thought I saw Sasquatch once, but I ended up just being Charlie Avell. I don't know if you've ever seen him shirtless.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, sometimes that happens to me. I go to the beach, you know what I mean? Little kids come up, think I'm like a bear or something, and try to pet me. I'm like, hey, I just didn't shave my back today.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I have to
Oh
get
man,
back.
yeah, I'm just joking. Yeah, I'm just joking, man. Yeah. No, when I think of that, yeah, I think of like Austin Powers or something at the beach. You know what I mean? Just coming out, it's like, oh my, oh man.
You know, fun fact for you, I've never watched Austin Powers.
Oh,
And
for real?
people get heated about that. But here's my whole thing. So I've done judo since I was like 6 years old.
Hmm.
And the big thing that movie's like the judo chop, right?
Yeah.
You don't chop in judo. So my whole life, like I started teaching judo when I was in high school. So I had kids coming in who watched Austin Powers like judo chop. And it just made me hate Austin Powers because I know what it's from. So I
Uh,
refuse to watch that movie. I refuse. I'm not gonna watch it.
I mean, yeah, I can see that, but yeah, it is definitely funny though, man. He doesn't do it as a serious thing. It's like he's making fun of 007. You know how they always like we're going there, hit the dude, so he just judo chop, judo kick. You know what I mean? It's like, oh my gosh, yeah,
Either of those in judo, I hate it. I hate
yeah,
them so. I
yeah.
don't
Because
have
I
to.
was going to ask you, yeah, I
Oh,
was
go
going
ahead.
to ask you about your judo career and stuff, man. I've seen some of your videos, man. You over there throwing people and stuff, man. Yeah, like how did you get into judo and what was that like?
So
Were you at tournaments every weekend?
my dad had did judo. And he had a or has a second degree black belt. It's called a Nidon, and so he
Ooh,
had a class. Like I was around judo my whole life, but it was like once I was mature enough to handle being like in a martial arts class I was in. So like I was around 6, and then I was just training. I have a what's called an EQ, a brown belt, but
mhm.
there's like some certain tests that like I have to do to get my black belt, but don't have the time for that because of booming wrestling career. Got to make some sacrifices. So kind of like I'm good at being brown belt. Like that's still pretty cool. Like I have a brown belt in judo.
Mhm.
I did a lot of tournaments. I placed at well, it wasn't Oregon State, it was Washington State, but they didn't know I was from Oregon. Placed in Washington State once. Adults tournament. I was like 16. Like
Oh,
pretty
nice.
pretty good.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, Andy plays too. You know what I mean? Going up there beating them old man. Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah, as Austin Powers would say, judo chopped him right in his bad hip, kicked him over.
That's right. I bet, man. Everybody loves locking up with you, man, because you just go over there, get that hand position and hand control. You're like, yeah, you getting me? Boom. There you go. Come on, get out of this arm bar or something. You know what I mean? Bam.
People hate locking up with me. I always win. Don't go watch my matches to find out. I always win. Just take my word for it.
That's right. That's right. Oh man, yeah, I definitely take your yeah. I've definitely seen you your judo and stuff, and I was like, yep, yeah. You ain't messing with him, man. Just hit
Yeah,
the ropes, run around, do something, man. 'Cause you lock up, you getting taken down.
exactly. You get it.
That's right. That's right.
But no,
So, man, I was doing a little research and stuff, man. I got to see you're hanging out with a former guest of ours, Nasty Leroy. Now, when we had him on here, man, that guy was wild and stuff, and I was like, man, I seen that picture, and I was like, is there any more on here? There's got to be cop cars involved in this picture or something. You know what I mean? So, how did you survive the night with Nasty Leroy? And you know what I mean? Did you have to run away from cops that night? 'Cause I imagine you would have to. Because I'm
whoa.
afraid that when he comes back here to Philly and stuff, or I'm in Delaware, but Philly's like an hour north. But when he comes back to Philly, I'm afraid to hit Nasty Leroy parties because I don't want to be on cops because they're back on the air.
Nasty Leroy, he's a different animal, man. So fun fact, we did a road trip with him and Donnie Janela, Kung Fu Donnie Janela. We did a road trip with the two of them to New South, and that was the first show that Casey and I tagged on. Nasty's just a different animal, man. If you ever see him, ask him about Caleb Teninty being the lead of the Nasty team because he put me in the Nasty team. He has the Nasty team, right? And the Nasty
Yeah.
Hotties. I'm in both.
Oh, nice.
Put me in the Nasty team, and then at some point, I was like, "Hey, man, like, what about a leadership role?" And then he's like, "Caleb, like, you're good, but like, you're not that good. Not good enough to be the leader of the Nasty team." I just asked for a leadership role. He said, the full-on leader of the Nasty team. I was like, all right, like, how about this? We have a match, and we have this match, just an exhibition match at school. Like, we didn't want to make a big public thing out of it. We just did it at school with a real official. So he's like, all right, I'll do this. So we do our match, and I win. Huge upset. People lost it, but I'm leader of the Nasty team, right? Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, I want your guys' opinion on this. Blue, base, like, what do you guys think? I'm leader, right? After that.
There you
like,
go.
Yeah,
you the man. You the leader.
Yeah.
You number one.
I'm the leader of the
Yeah,
Nasty.
you won it.
So I won it. And then he's getting mad. He's, like, trashing me on Twitter and stuff. Like, because I'm making some changes. Like, I'm leader. I'm going to shake things up a bit. I put some guys who he calls rat bastards in. And he... Can I swear on the show, by the way? I'm sorry if I...
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, you're good.
Okay. He put some rat bastards in, as he likes to say, and he got real mad. So I was like, hey, I'm a nice guy. I'm a fair guy. How about we wrestle again? And we put the leadership on the line. He gave me that chance. I'll give him the chance. And I beat him twice. I beat him 2 times. So at this point, I'm like, okay, I'm the full-on leader. And at this point, the business is starting to boom. So I'm like, all right, Nasty team is now a subsidiary of the business, which is how it has to be, right? Like,
yeah,
exactly. So
you're leader. Yeah,
I'm the leader. I can do that. So, yeah, Nasty team leader, I'm the leader of the Nasty team. But Nasty, he's quite a character, man. When I road tripped with him, do you guys know who Freight Train is? The Choo Choo Freight Train?
No, I don't.
Oh,
I don't.
So Freight Train's a legendary wrestler on $5 Wrestling. That's another show to check out. They were teaming. Like, that was a dream tag team. They teamed together that night. And so good.
Oh, nice. So, that's pretty good. Yeah, I'm definitely got to check that out. Was it $5 Wrestling, you said?
$5 Wrestling, but that match happened on New South. I think that one's on YouTube.
You talking about Freight Train? Isn't he with $5 Wrestling, right?
Yeah, $5 Wrestling is so good.
Yeah, I heard of him. Wow, he's been around for a minute, like probably 10 years now, maybe even more.
So whenever people bring up Freight Train, I tell them this exact sentence. I have done extra work for Dynamite twice, and all the legends I met. The biggest moment for me as the wrestling fan was meeting Freight Train backstage in New South. It was like, oh my gosh, what is happening? What is life? I met Freight Train. He comes up to me, he's like, hey, my name's Freight Train. I'm like, dude, whoa, that's wild. Like, I just met Freight Train. So, yeah, you want to talk about big
awesome,
man? Freight Train.
Wow, that's cool.
All right, let's see this.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Yeah, man. Oh, man, you see, that was one of my questions, man, if you ever done AEW work. But my next question, though, was I liked your thing, buy my shirt. Your little sign, where you sit there, you know what I mean? So, and I got to see, you had a former friends of the show, the Renegade Twins, or it might have been Robin or Charlotte, one of them, holding up the sign. Did they buy your shirt? Are they part of the business? The business?
So they're business associates, as I like to say.
Okay, gotcha.
No, I don't know. I figure if some people can no, never mind. I'm not gonna say that. Sometimes I make jokes that I'm like, oh, I probably shouldn't have said that. That was one of those. So I'm not gonna say that live. I just like to advertise, hey, when I'm at shows, buy a shirt. I just want people to know what I want from them, because you get those mouth breathing fans who come up to your table and just start talking to you, and they have no intention on buying a shirt because they can't even afford, or they can barely afford the ticket into the show on their minimum wage job. Don't at me. They come in, they're like, hey, they're trying to make a conversation. I don't care. Buy a shirt. Wrestling fans, if you're watching, we want you to buy a shirt. We don't care about your opinion too much. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, kind of.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just kidding, kind of, guys. No, but
that's
yeah,
right.
so, I just made that my thing. Hey, just buy a shirt. That's all I want. No.
Yeah, I do like that. That's pretty cool. my trainer, he was talking about when he first like was doing like being a manager and all that stuff. He would when he was a heel, he'd bring his dog to the show and he'd just sit there pet his dog and people would come, hey, can I pet the dog? And he's like $5. You know, you pet the dog for 5. And he said people would pay him. You know what I mean? Or I'm like, all right, man. I need to do something like that. Like, man.
That's what I gotta do.
Oh yeah, I'm like, yeah, okay, yes. But he told me, he said, never do a money gimmick because people will start hitting you up asking for money. He's like, hey man, it's like, yeah, I can barely afford my bills. Like, all right, whatever. Oh man, that's great. So like you said before, you did a little bit of AEW extra work, man. What was that like, man? Going backstage, doing that. What did you do? And I also want to know what was the catering like, man? Did they have some awesome food there?
Great food.
I bet it was great.
Both times I did it, they were at the Daly's place in Jacksonville. I went right after I went to the Nightmare Factory, and I was like, they had me ringside, and then they had like this. They had it was right before All Out of 2020. They had the Casino Battle Royal. I don't know if you guys remember, but like people started running in. And I'm looking around like, guys, this is our chance to make our name. So me and Parker were both there. Actually, we're real close at this time. I run in. I attacked. I think it was Ricky Starks. Like I was like, I'm here to make my moment. I look back. Parker's making the most of his moment. You know Parker Lee. We're making our moment. We get thrown out. Ricky Starks and then kicked me in the head on my way out. Like So that was the first time I did it, and then the second time, they asked me like, hey, like, can you serve food to the Pinnacle? I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. Like, I don't know. Yeah, like, gotta pay your dues. So I'm like pouring wine for the Pinnacle, and then like at some point, Spears gets pissed, takes my head, slams it into the table. That was like right before the Stadium Stampede match with the Inner Circle.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay.
I don't know if you guys remember that segment, but like the waiter that got his head slammed into the table, like that was me.
Okay. I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I'll go back and watch it or whatever. Yeah, because I watch a lot of wrestling. Yeah.
So my favorite part about that is like my head hit the table, or like Spears took my head, slammed into the table. My head hits a plate, and like you see like the plate just fly up, and Wardlow just really casually just catches it in one hand. Like,
oh, nice.
If you like search up the Pinnacle dinner segment, like head hits the table, plate goes flying, Wardlow, you just see Wardlow in the corner of the camera just catch it one hand. Like nothing.
Just smooth, cooler than the other side of the pillow. Just
yeah.
Oh man, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check that out, man. That sounds pretty cool, man. Oh, so we're in the month of October, man. Are you a person who's into Halloween or the Halloween spirit or any of that stuff?
Kind of. I like to dress up. Which people who are going to GPW, we got a surprise for you. Casey and I might come in costume. We may not. Who knows? If we're feeling spooky, we'll come in costume.
There you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, do you watch a lot of Halloween movies or whatever? Halloween shows or?
No, not a huge Halloween guy. Like usually I throw together a costume. This year I'll probably do whatever cute, like matching costume I can find with Casey Rocker. I don't know. Maybe we can be slutty nurses. Like that'd be cute.
There you go. Or you could be a cat, one of those sexy cats.
Yeah, we can be sexy cats together.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I mean, So are you watching it? So you're not into the Halloween movies and stuff, but are you watching any new movies or TV shows? Because I always get stuck watching the same type of stuff. You know what I mean? Like.
No, I'm big on like I'll repeat shows because like I'm pretty busy with like I train and work out. Like my life's pretty much wrestling. So when I watch a TV show, like I'll watch shows that I've watched, so I can kind of like do that and like multitask, like draw up gear, like So like I'll go through like The Office a lot, Parks and Rec. Right now I'm watching My Name Is Earl again. Like that's one of my favorites. That show's so good. Like on an unreal level, like Office and Parks and Rec get a lot of hype, but like My Name Is Earl should be like right there with it, like in comedy shows. Because it's so good.
It's just I hate I can't watch it because I know how it ends. It ends on a cliffhanger, and I'm like,
It
who's
does.
Dodge's real dad? I'm like,
That was that was the worst cliffhanger. Because I've watched shows with like bad endings, like people like Lost is a show I've watched a lot, like watched through a couple times. That has like a famous like when people start watching Lost or hear about it, like they'll say like, doesn't the ending suck? I'm like, yeah, kind of does. But it's worse. Months. But like for real, like a show ending on a cliffhanger, like what would be a really good like, oh, I want to watch the next season. Like My Name Is Earl did. Like it is so much worse than a bad ending because it's just like I have so many unanswered questions. Like
yes,
we're going with I think it was season 5. I think there's 4 seasons. There's going to be a 5th, but they canceled it.
Yeah.
Where were they going with that 5th season? You know.
Yeah, I did hear the producers or writers. They were they already had the end written out. They were going to have it end like the last episode or whatever. Earl's like doing he's doing his list or whatever. Somebody comes up to him and is like, "Hey, you know, I wronged you back in the day. You know, I need to do something to make it up. I got a list." He's like, "Where'd you get that from?" "Well, I got it from this person." That, and he's like, "So I kind of did make a difference in the world." He's like, "Okay, you know what I mean." So and then yeah, it goes off in the sunset. That's what I heard. That's
See,
what he
for
said.
me,
Whatever.
the perfect ending would have been like, although I guess there's a few items that he said like he didn't intend to cross off, like, but like, it would have been cool to see him like finish the list. But I know like I know of one at least where he was like mistreating Randy. He's like, I need to make things up to Randy, but he's like, I don't intend to ever cross this off.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna keep trying. So like I guess there's some items like that, but I would have liked to see him like finish the list at the end of the show.
I did hear that they were going to make Joy's baby daddy like Little John or something like that. It was going to be something crazy. They're going or Dave Chappelle. They're trying to get them to get on the show to be the dad of Earl Jr. Dodger, whichever I forget. Yeah, I heard that. I was like, yeah, that'd been great.
So
like,
good.
poor Crab Man. Yeah, poor Crab Man. You know what I mean? He's awesome, man. I like Crab Man.
Probably one of the better characters. I guess like they have the 5 main characters, and all 5 of them are good.
Yeah. I do like the man. My favorite episodes on there, or a couple of them, are the cops episodes, where it's like, yo, our cops episodes on. They gather around. He's like, yeah. This shows Earl where he's running naked and he falls down. He said, I scraped it. He said, I'm afraid to look. And he's like, oh, that's a lot of gravel. I was just like, oh my gosh.
I literally watched the episode yesterday. His exact words is, and he's like, I skinned my pecker.
Yeah, that cop, man, he said, oh my God, that's a lot of gravel. I was just like, oh, man. I can't imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an all-time show.
Yeah, it's great. Parks and Rec, I like that too. Yeah, after that first season or whatever, you know, I mean, if you start on season 2 or whatever, man, it's just, yeah, it's great. You know, I mean, that whole show's hilarious. You know, it's pretty good. Yeah, I love that show also. But yeah, man. I know you got my mom, your grandma was trying to call you and stuff, man. So I definitely don't want to take up any of your time. You know what I mean? I don't want grandma mad at me. You know what I mean? You know, putting some voodoo curse and hexing me and stuff, man. So before I pass on back to Remy, I do want to say, you know, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to come on chat with us, man. I definitely had a blast chatting with you. You know, about wrestling, you know, TV, all that good stuff, man. Yeah, I wish the business, you know, nothing but the best. I hope you all get tag team gold from one side of the country to the next, and wish y'all nothing but success. Yep.
All right. Yeah. Thank you guys. Thank you.
Caleb, thanks a lot for taking time out of your busy schedule to be on our show. We really and truly do appreciate it. We know you're busy planning your next step in your wrestling career or whatnot. But before we shut the show down, where can fans find you on social media if they want to find out when your next appearance is, and where can they, and if they want to purchase merchandise, and where can bookers and promoters find you when they want to book you for their shows?
So Kayla, my Instagram at Caleb_Teninty. Okay, yeah, it's spelled correctly in the on the live thing. Most people, if you notice, like posters and stuff, most people don't spell my last name right. This is a very like a big grievance for me. Like they'll put my like promo pic on the poster, and on my promo pic it has my shirt with my name spelled correctly, and then right underneath it they'll misspell my last name. It kills me every time. So sorry, Caleb at Caleb _ Teninty for Instagram. That's the main one I use. I'm on Twitter at C1080p. Yeah, C1080p for pro wrestling. That's my Twitter. I'm kind of active on there. I need to get better about that. And respect the business on Instagram. That's another one. That's for the business tag team. You can always hit us up on there for tag team stuff. I have a pro wrestling tee store, Caleb Teninty. I have one shirt on there, the confetti gimmick shirt, and then a business pro wrestling tee store is going to be up soon. So, and we'll have 3 shirts on there, which there's one I think is going to be huge seller. So stay tuned for that. You guys have anything else for me?
No, that's pretty much good. Y'all definitely support this guy. He's doing it not just for the money, love the business, but for y'all the fans. So definitely go out there, cop some merchandise, attend the shows that he's on. They're very entertaining. Sorry, but actually my phone was on like 3%, so I had to like rush to the next power source. But
yeah,
we're almost done.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I started this interview at 80%, and this killed my phone. I'm at 9% now.
But we've had ones where we've had like 3-hour interviews where it was like it started at 100 and then it ended up like I'm like at almost like 5%. So, but y'all definitely follow this guy. He's very impressive. Also follow Casey Rocker too, man. He's another impressive guy too. Rock and Shock Connection. The business, definitely look out for these guys. They're one of those tag teams that you'll see in a couple of years, and you'll be like, yo, these guys are really doing the damn thing. Trust us on that. But with that being said, by that time for us to shut this show down, but before we do so, Rob Bass, where can fans find on social media if they want to, talk wrestling, and where can bookers and promoters find you when they want to book you for their shows?
All right, you can find me at Rob _ Bass 82 at Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch, and then Rob Bass on Facebook and YouTube.
Awesome. If you want to find me on social media, not that I have anything cool to say, but who knows, maybe you'll get lucky. You'll find me on Twitter under @RemyBlue. You can also find me on Facebook under Remy Blue. It's a picture of me at WrestleMania 28. You can find me on those platforms. Our podcast, however, is on social media. We're on Twitter and Instagram under @Ringside Society. We're on Twitch under Ringside Society 2019. We also have a Facebook group. If you get the name as Ringside Society, you guess it correctly. We don't have anything to give away yet. But just type in Ringside Society on Facebook and you will find us. We're also on YouTube. Yes, we have a YouTube channel, which is one of the platforms that this episode is being streamed through. So just type in Ringside Society and you'll find us. Once you see that sweet blue yin and yang logo over Rob's head, that's us. So go ahead and subscribe. Don't personalize it. Put it to where you can get all the videos because we got a lot of cool stuff coming up. And we're also on Twitch under @Ringside Society 2019. And we also have a Teespring store. Yes, that's where we sell our Ringside Society merch. So go ahead, cop a shirt. It's hoodie season, so we got the hoodies now. And you also know it's pumpkin spice latte season. So guess what we got? We got coffee mugs for you too. Ringside Society coffee mugs. So if you want something cool to sip your pumpkin spice latte or your green tea latte, which is one of my favorites, or even some hot chocolate with marshmallows, we got the mugs for you. But and also, all proceeds from that go back into keeping this show afloat. They don't go back into our pockets. Trust me, I'm still eating hamburger helper. Rob is still eating Kool-Aid sandwiches. So trust me, we're not taking any of the money. But with that being said, we just want to thank everybody that tuned in tonight. We really and truly appreciate it. For those of y'all that are going to tune in later on, thank you very much in advance. And to those of y'all that hate us, can't stand us, really and truly wish we'd go away, well, I'm very sorry, but like myself in the Golden Corral and Rob Bass at Hershey Park in Pennsylvania, we're not going anywhere for a while.
They hate us because they ain't us.
They hate us because
we ain't stopping.
All right.
But with that
Oh.
being said, we just want to thank everybody once again, thank you. And we just want to let everybody know that we're very well aware that everybody and their grandparents and their parents have a podcast. We're not your grandparents' podcast. We're not your parents' podcast. As a matter of fact, we're not just any podcast. Hey, yo, Rob Bass, one time for the mind, one time for the people, one time for the wrestling culture, and one time for the other half of the Rock and Shock connection, or the business.
Woo!
The business.
The shocker.
The shock.
I don't think I got your name. The shock factor, Caleb Teninty. What type of podcast are we?
We're the Wrestling Fans Podcast.
That's right, we're the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. And with that being said, we will be back with another impressive, spectacular, fantastic, exciting, awesome, whatever adjective you want to use, episode of Ringside, positive adjectives, of Ringside, episode of Ringside Society. But until then, we're still going through a pandemic. So stay safe, stay healthy, be excellent to each other, and party on, dudes. We out. Peace.
See y'all. Good night. Stay classy, Delaware.